Hello, hope you enjoyed that little intro. So that was just a quick demonstration of what I'm going to be talking about today, which is going to be using the trigger outputs on the Behringer RD-8 to basically create some sort of randomish sort of bass lines, but that you can kind of change on the fly. And it's a great way. I kind of do this as if I can't think of a bass line and I want to just kind of generate something randomish. This is a great way of doing it and a great way of just jamming as well. So all we're using today, the only gear we're using is the, like I say, the Behringer RD-8 and then the Roland TB03, which at the moment is sitting on top of my micro brute. So ignore the little keyboard thing down there. That's nothing to do with that. Connections wise, we've got the basically all I'm doing is taking the trigger output. If I can get this round. Okay, so you can see along the back we've got 3 trigger outputs and I'm coming out of output 3. I'll talk about these outputs in a second. And that's going to the trigger in on the TB03. I've got that set to just auto on its sync, and that's it. Basically there's no other connections, everything else is just audio. So I've just got the audio going out of the RD-8 and the TB03 into this little mixer down here. So the first thing actually with this is, and this isn't actually in the Behringer manual for the RD-8, which is I find incredible that it's not in the manual telling you which trigger outs relate to which bits of the kit. So you've got 3 trigger outs. Trigger 1 is the cowbell, trigger 2 is the hand clap, and trigger 3, which is the one I'm using, is the accent. So yeah, you just kind of have to go on the internet to find that out. So yeah, thanks Behringer for that one. I mean, I love the Behringer gear. It's great and it sounds amazing, and all these remakes and stuff, and they're ridiculously cheap. But yeah, the manuals, yeah. Which is why I do these videos, to help people out and give them some ideas and suggestions. So let me try and explain what happens if you've never done this before. When we've got something plugged into the trigger in on the TB03, it will wait for a trigger signal before it moves on to the next note in the sequence. And that's basically what we're doing. We're sending those trigger signals from here. So what will happen is we'll get whatever rhythm we've programmed on here, and it will move the notes along that I've programmed in on here based on that rhythm. And then we can keep changing the rhythm on here without having to fiddle about too much with anything on the TB03. This is obviously not exclusive just to these 2 pieces of gear. If you've got anything that will send a trigger out and something that will accept a trigger in, then this will work. Obviously the RD-8 is quite a cool one to do it because it's all very much rhythm based, so you can get some nice rhythms from it that way. So to kind of explain, the easiest way of explaining it is if I just put in, I'll go into pitch mode and I'll just kind of put notes going up and down, so like this. Okay, so if I now press play, I've got the same rhythm I had in before, but so hopefully you can kind of hear it going up and down based on this rhythm. Now if I just get rid of everything on here, the rhythm parts, and all I've got is the first step. Well, actually if I do all 16 first of all, it's basically just going to send straightforward 16th notes out every beat, and this will basically sound like had I just put all 16th notes in on here. Sorry, I do the amount of times I do that. Again, this is one of the things I love this drum machine, but you've got to remember to have it in record mode, otherwise it goes back to its previous its previous pattern, which actually is quite cool if you want to keep a pattern and then like do a little drum fill and then go back to the original one. But I always forget to press record. But anyway. Okay, so that's basically going to take 1 bar to go play through all those notes I just programmed in on here, because we've got 16. If we want that to go half the speed, and so last over 2 bars, what we'd do is we would highlight basically what is the 8th note position. So that is the easiest way of doing it. It's all the odd numbers, okay, on here. Okay, so hopefully you're with me so far. If I just get rid of everything and just have just the very first note triggering, so I've just got that one trigger on each bar, it's going to take 1 bar to go through. So basically it's going to take 16 bars to go through the whole thing. I won't play the whole thing, but if I play it, you'll get the idea. Second note, second bar, third note, third bar, and so on. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the whole of that because it's not very exciting. I generally use the accent one mostly for doing this, because I don't very often use the accent with the when I'm programming the drums. If I just put like a random rhythm in, what you've got to watch out for is if your level is up on the accent, hopefully you can hear that. That's still going to put the accents on the drums where you've got them on here. So you can, if I remember rightly, go into the settings. I'm pretty sure you can do it on accent. I'm not sure, but in the preferences, I think you can take it off, and there's a way of getting rid of that. But the easiest thing is, if you don't want any accents, just turn it down. But I think you can. Choose which steps the accents go on. But anyway, just turn it down. It's the easiest thing for now. And then really it's just a case of just messing about with it, really. So if I'm going to start off with, I'm just going to put like 1 note in, and I'll just go up and down the octaves a little bit. So I'm just going to do it on A. And we'll see what we've got. Okay, so straight away we get quite a nice little rhythmic bass line. Obviously you can't do slides and so on. Off here you can't anyway, but can we put some slides on? Probably. Yes, we can. I'm just putting these in at random. Okay, so we get a pattern that kind of evolves over a few bars and then does repeat, which is really nice. So what we can do is, if we like that, if I take it out of record, it's going to just keep doing that same pattern, but what I can do is change these, and then when it gets onto the next bar, it will revert back to the original pattern. So you can just get it to just evolve all the while. Which, just for jamming some acid stuff out, it's great fun. And then you can start to put, if you leave this in right mode, you can then start to put some other notes in. Let's have a little bit of delay on it. And then if you want to permanently change the pattern, just put it into record. So have a bit less going off this time. till you get something that you like, and then you can record it or just keep that pattern in there and you've got it. It's nice. There we go. Sorry, I get carried away. I could do that all day. So yeah, that's just one use of those the trigger outputs on there. And obviously you've got 3 different things. So if you've got 3 different bits of gear that you want to do that with that accepts a trigger in, you know, you can use your cowbell and the hand clap as well for doing that. So there we go. Hopefully that's of some interest to you, and you realise there is something now that you can do that's not in the manual. So thanks, Behringer. Sort that out, people. Yeah, so usual things. Thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions or comments or suggestions for future videos, stick them in the box below. Click the little bell, which is, I don't know, somewhere around here, so you get notifications as and when I upload new videos. I'm going to be uploading a lot more regularly now. I'm kind of back into a normal-ish kind of way of life here in the UK. And if you want to support the channel, help keep it going, then you can subscribe to my Patreon, which starts from as cheap as $1 or £1 or €1 a month. You will get some free stuff with that, but as well, it just helps support the channel and helps me keep it going. There are links to that in the description below, and card things will pop up somewhere around here. Should you wish to do that, it is much appreciated. It's a tiny amount I'm asking for people, you know, like $1. There is a $3.50 or £3.50 one a month as well. But yes, if you like what I do and it helps you out, then yeah, return the favour and help me out as well. Or just go and stream my stuff off Spotify or whatever, like 1,000,000 times, and then I'll probably get £1 for doing that. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.